Ladies and gentlemen of YouTube, how are we doing? Now today's video is something I've been asked multiple times now on the channel ever since I announced months ago now that I'm going to be buying my first ever Saberforge lightsaber, which is here by the way. If you want to see the full review, I'll leave it pinned in the comment section so you can check it out. But yeah, ever since I announced I was getting that lightsaber, I've been asked so many times. It's probably the most asked thing on the entire channel, to be totally fair, especially on Instagram, and it is, what is better, or what lightsaber company is best for me between Ultrasabers and Saberforge? And hopefully in today's video, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to be answering that question. I'm going to be straight up. First of all, this video is probably going to be pretty long, so big love to you if you watch the entire thing. I do really appreciate it, but I'm going to be answering every single thing, man. Everything from customer service, sound, brightness, customization, you name it, I'm going to be covering it in today's video so you have a full understanding of which company offers what and which company is best for you. This video is not Ultrasabers versus Saberforge to the death. Before we get into everything, I want to say a few disclaimers so we are just crystal clear and transparent as possible. At the time of this recording, I currently own 6 Ultrasaber lightsabers, and that is over the last like 5, 6, 7 years, something like that. I normally buy, well, did normally buy at least one a year, and I currently own only one Saberforge. I'm definitely buying more. If you saw my review, that lightsaber, that hilt, I am gassed. It is so good. But yeah, enough about that. Back to the disclaimers. First of all, this video is sponsored by no one. I'm being completely neutral, completely fair. I have ties to no companies. I'm being as honest as I possibly can to give you the best information as possible. I'm just another customer. I'm nothing else. Secondly, this video, ladies and gentlemen, is not to bash either company. Both have ups and downs. I have mad love and respect for both companies. This is not a war. Just no disrespect whatsoever. This is only my opinion. I'm being totally fair about it. And side note, I want to hear your opinion. Who do you prefer? What is your go-to company out of Ultrasabers and Saberforge? If it's another company, I hear ya. I've currently got Saber Trio and Vader's Vault lightsabers coming, and yeah, I'm proper hyped for them. But yeah, this is purely Ultrasabers and Saberforge only. What is your personal experience? Please let me know in that comment section below. I genuinely want to hear about it, and let's have a good chat. And the third and final thing I'm going to say, ladies and gentlemen, this is being filmed towards the end of 2020, going into 2021. I don't know what's happening in 2021 or 2022 or whatever. So if you're watching this video and a large amount of time has passed, things might have changed, technology might have changed. So yeah. Now with that being said, finally let's get into it. And I'm going to start right at the start with customer service. Now obviously, if you go on Google with any company, there's positives and negatives. That is a no-brainer. You're never going to get a company with a flawless record. It's not happening. There's no way. And Ultrasabers and Saberforge, they are no different, but I've got to be fair. I'm basically going to be categorising everything, by the way, and giving, I don't want to say a point, there's no point system, but I will tell you the winner. I don't know what the word is, man. I'll just tell you what I think of each one and who I think is better in a certain category. For customer service, I'm telling you right now, ladies and gentlemen, in the past, Ultrasabers, for me, they were so good. They were like a 9 out of 10 level good. You email them, you'll get a reply maybe like 2 days later. But this year, 2020, has not been good for Ultrasabers. Currently, they are bad, mate. They are really bad. They lost all their emails. That is so bad. Obviously, we've got a pandemic going on. You need to be on the ball, mate. Just, yeah, Ultrasabers in 2020 is so bad. If I had to grade them, it's like a 3 out of 10. It's that bad. And if you ever watch anything of mine, I give reviews to like whatever I pretty much review everything. 5 out of 10 is dead average. And Ultrasabers, for me, it's a 3. It's pretty bad. You email them, you'll be lucky to get a reply in 7 days. The telephone, well, I don't think it's ever worked, to be totally fair. But yeah, they should take that off the site, actually, because I know that annoys a lot of people. You ring them, it never goes through. That is a fact, ladies and gentlemen. I've been emailing them pretty recently, to be fair. There was a bunch of typos there. It just looked like the email was rushed. No disrespect to the man or woman who wrote the email. I can't even remember who it was now, but it looked rushed. What I actually asked kind of wasn't even answered. It looked generic. It looked like a pre-wrote out email that is just mass-produced to people. I don't know. The customer service, easily the winner is Saberforge. I said in my review, you email Saberforge, at the time of this recording anyway, you get an automated email response straight away, and I think, I should have checked this, I'm so bad, but I think it says, 3 to 4 or 4 to 5 days, we will definitely get back to you. They got back to me every single time. I had no complaints, man. In fact, I gave the customer service of Saberforge an 8 out of 10. Customer service, the winner is Saberforge, without a shadow of a doubt in my mind. Next, I want to talk about availability. Now, this is not hilt designs. That's the next thing I will cover. But availability is probably going to be the hardest thing to, like, tell you who's better. They're kind of very average. Saberforge have this thing where it says straight up, at stock. There's no messing around. Like, if something's out of stock, that is it. Obviously, availability wise, that's pretty bad. Like, if you really want something and it's out of stock, that's it. I have no idea when it's come back. You can email them. I'm pretty certain they're going to say we're not sure, you know, keep checking back. Or heck, I think you can sign up for a notification to be emailed when it comes back in stock, which is pretty good, to be fair. Ultrasabers, on the other hand, they do things totally differently. Pretty much everything's in stock, unless it ain't in stock, and then you will be waiting a long ass time. They don't make it like very clear what's in stock, what isn't in stock. They both do things pretty bad. I'm not going to say any of them is better, to be honest. This is, to be fair, I've been thinking about this for a few weeks, if I'm being totally honest. This one, like, category, availability, is the hardest thing to, like, judge who's better. They both do things in different ways. Ultrasabers, they do the amount of emails you get, 10% off, 15%, 30%, winter raffle, summer raffle, it does not end. Doesn't mean stuff's in stock. Countless emails. Again, it kind of goes to the customer service side of stuff. That stuff's pretty bad. I'm going to remain totally neutral. I think availability is just different companies. They do things in different ways. I'm being completely neutral. Now I want to talk about the different hilt designs, and again, for me, there's a very clear winner. Right, so this is the Bane Mark II in chrome. This is from Saberforge, and looks-wise, it's a 10 out of 10. In fact, I actually gave the whole lightsaber in general a 10 out of 10. It looks absolutely insane. Curved hilt, got nice grip, got the spike at the front, single-bladed, double-bladed, spears, axes. I think they sell blasters, crossguard hilts. They got a lot of stuff. The hilt designs, specifically, they are like what I'd call, I don't want to use the word exotic because I only think about Joe Exotic, but they're definitely like on the more exotic end. Ultrasabers, to be fair, I don't even remember what hilt this is. It could be an apprentice, a sentinel, I don't know. I should have checked, but yeah, this is like a pipe, mate. It's just very, very basic. I think this cost me like $100 or something. It's pretty cheap, but it looks, I don't want to say it looks cheap, but it's very, very basic. If you compare this to the Archon, which is currently to date my favourite looking Ultrasaber of all time, this, you can tell, looks more premium, but if you compare it to the Saberforge Bane Mark II, having both of these on screen, I know they're totally different lightsabers. Obviously, this is inspired mainly by the Luke Skywalker hilt. This is like Count Dooku on steroids. However, you can tell there's like a big difference in the quality of hilt. Again, if I compare this to the Flamberge lightsaber from Ultrasabers, this is the crossguard hilt. I think I bought this in 2017. I'm pretty sure Force Awakens was out and I was on a Kylo Ren hype. Again, if you compare these two, and I know they are totally different, Bane Mark II has got a level of quality. It looks premium, and pretty much all their lightsabers do, if I'm being totally fair. There's other hilt designs that Ultrasabers make, like the Graphics, the Vader one, I have no idea what it's called, the Malice. And you've got like the Darth Revan one and stuff, but Saberforge also make it, and again, if I'm being totally fair, they seem to be like thinner, sleeker, designed a little bit better. I love you, Ultrasabers. I really, really do. I got mad love and respect. But if I'm being totally honest, yo, hilt design-wise, what looks better, and just a variety of designs, there's a lot of, like, pole designs and just basic tube designs on Ultrasabers, but, like, Saberforge definitely have more, again, exotic designs, but that is just a fact, mate. If you believe me, believe me. If you don't, you don't. For me, when I look at an Ultrasabers hilt and a Saberforge hilt, Saberforge screams like premium to me. Hilt design-wise, from the website, I have to give the edge to Saberforge. Right, so you picked your hilt, and the next thing for me is customization. Now, this is another easy win for Saberforge. I'm sorry, all the Ultrasabers fanboys, they smash it, mate. Again, I'm going to have to use this lightsaber over and over, because it is the only one I have. But you can get that in chrome. Black, weathered, chrome and black, black and chrome, which are two different things, by the way. Ultrasabers, you might be lucky to get 3, like a red, blue, I can't remember what they're called, crimson, azure, And I think the other one's just like the normal one. There's not much, mate, to be totally fair. I'm pretty certain Saberforge, all their lightsabers, or nearly all of them, I think ones like the Count, you can't get them in weathering. But most of them, you can get wraps for them, you can get them weathered, chromed up. The customization side is a very easy win for Saberforge. Ultrasabers are pretty basic. There's no like custom acid etching, weathering, wraps. There's not much. It's pretty basic. What you see is what you get kind of thing. So yeah, another easy win for Saberforge. But now, one of the most important ones, the price. Right, so the Bane cost me $560 with shipping from America to UK. So let's just say $500 to be totally fair. And when I bought the Flamberge with a tri-cree red setup, this cost me about the same, $500 now. This category is also very, very hard to like say which is better. It's kind of one of those things like, what do you want? Like, if you want your first ever lightsaber, you want something basic, with sound, with a colour of your choosing, which is very decently bright, cheap, you can duel with it, and if it gets mashed up, it gets mashed up. Ultrasabers is the one. That is a fact, mate. That, for me, is pretty much where I stand with that. If you're one of those people, like, it's your first saber, you're doing it for cosplay, you want to genuinely duel with it, or you're buying it for, like, your kid, or you're just someone you know is going to mash it up, like, Ultrasaber's probably the best bet. Within reason. This is super basic. It's got a really nice choke point. It's really easy to grip. One-handed, two-handed, it doesn't matter. It's got one LED inside. It cost like $100 and something. Like, if this is what you want, something super basic for your first lightsaber, Ultrasabers all the way. However, if it's not your first lightsaber, or you just don't want something basic, you want something, again, a little bit more premium, then honestly, I'd probably say definitely go with Saberforge. Again, the lightsabers tend to be a little bit more expensive. I know that the stunt sabers, which is like no sound, one blade color, they are cheaper, but if you compare like the Ultrasabers cheap levels of sabers with the Saberforge, Ultrasabers is definitely a little bit cheaper, but it really honestly depends what you want. If you want, this is my example for you. Again, going back to the Flamberge, at the time when I bought this, it was $500 and something, the same as the Bane Mark II. For me now, it's too basic for the price. It's got one blade color, you cannot change it, it's got a recharge port, no customization, and that is it, and it is very, very chunky and very heavy. I think Ultrasabers for me, right, has a price limit. For me now anyway, having like neopixel and stuff like that, and Saberforge, bunch of other sabers coming away, and my Blue Force custom Lord of the Rings lightsaber. You ain't seen it? It'll be down below. But I genuinely do think these have a price limit. If you're going to spend $500, I mean, I can tell you don't, because I bought it, and in hindsight, I kind of wish I didn't. Back in 2017, I'm not going to like lie to you, ladies and gentlemen, I didn't know about Saberforge, I didn't know about Saber Trio, Vader's Vault. I typed in lightsaber, Ultrasabers came up. I've spent thousands, mate. So I'm allowed to like give my honest opinion on things. I don't want to say they're a waste of money because they got me into like the hobby of collecting lightsabers. It's not a waste for me, but if you're gonna spend so much money, it's probably best you spend it somewhere else. And in this video, I would say spend that large amount of money with Saberforge. I'll tell you a massive shout out right now. Massive shout out to Lando Sabers. So many people have reached out to me and told you to check out that video, the Ultrasabers one. You know which one I mean. If you want to see his channel, I'll leave it in the comment section or description even. It was insightful. A lot of the things you said happened to me. I kind of typed in lightsaber and I really wanted one. Ultrasabers came up straight away and the young me went straight for it. So yeah, massive love to Lando Sabers, but where I'm going to, because I'm going off track, it all depends what you want money-wise. If you want a premium lightsaber, you want a shelf piece like this, has got neopixel tech in it, I will go over it in a little bit. I'm never dueling anyone. Ever. And I want to duel someone, I'll take my Ultrasabers lightsaber with me. Because it's not wasted on that. If it gets smashed up, it gets smashed up. It really depends what you want. For me, personally, I'm gearing towards neopixel tech now. But value for money, again, it depends what you're after. Something simple, go with Ultrasabers. Anything more than simple, bro, we're going more than $200. Right, so you got your saber. You paid for your saber. Delivery times. Ultrasabers, you used to be good. You used to be so good. Bro, I'm in UK. There in America, I used to buy a lightsaber. I'd have it in my hands. 8 days. Insane. 2020, I know we're going through a pandemic. It's bad, mate. The last Ultrasabers video I did was the $200 mystery box for the channel, actually. And it came, I think it came in 9 weeks, which is the same time as this. And this is custom made with neopixel tech. Delivery speeds, Back in the day, Ultrasabers killed it, but again, now, it's an easy win for Saberforge. It's also really weird. I mean, I watch a bunch of unboxing videos of Ultrasabers. People say they got it in 7 days, 10 days, but I don't know what's going on. Sometimes it's like 3 months. So it's really hit and miss. And for that level of like uncertainty, I ain't feeling it. I'm sorry. Again, no disrespect to Ultrasabers. I ain't feeling it, mate. When I bought my Saberforge lightsaber, it said on the site, crystal clear, 10 to 15, I believe it was, weeks. Expect it then. It came in 9. It was a tiny bit early. Before you pay, you should be told when it's arriving. Ultrasabers, I don't even know if they do that anymore, but if it says something, it probably is going to be something else. Right, so you got your lightsaber. The next thing I want to talk about is, like, how does it feel? What feels premium? I ain't saying exotic anymore. What feels like a lightsaber? And just the little bits of detail. Right, so I hate to keep going back to the Bane, but I'm just going to do this as a little test. I'm going to shake it left and right. Listen to this. Exactly. There was just no noise whatsoever. It feels solid. It feels like one entire piece. Now, I'm going to do the same thing with Ultrasabers. This is no disrespect. I'm just keeping it real, yo. Right, so I ended it on here for a reason. This is the only Ultrasaber that doesn't shake. It is running a Tri-Cree LED, which means there's 3 LEDs inside the hilt. Luckily, there's no noise. I don't know why they shake so much. It's like the LEDs are loose. I don't know, mate. Just is what it is. But yeah, the easy win is Saberforge. Once again, I'm starting to notice a pattern here. It just feels better built. And that is a straight up statement. I mean, right, so the next 2 are probably the most important 2, apart from the price, if I'm being totally fair. Sound, colours, brightness, blade, all that good stuff. Let's get into it. Let's start with the sound. Right, so I'll start with Saberforge. This is running a neopixel setup, and it's got the Golden Harvest Soundboard, which has got about 16 different sound fonts on board, and they can all do this. Smooth swing is the way to go. If you haven't experienced smooth swing, it's one of those things that's hard to explain. It feels like a lightsaber. Now we go to Ultrasabers. This has got the V4 Soundboard, which is their most advanced soundboard currently at the time of this recording. You can add sound fonts to this. I think it comes pre-installed with 6 or 7, something like that. And the soundboards, to be fair, they're not too bad. They kind of feel a little bit, I don't want to say outdated. I nearly said dinosaur then. It ain't that bad. But without smooth swing, it's missing something. Like, yeah, I don't know, man. Like, they sound okay. They are very, very loud. But without smooth swing and, like, the variety of fonts. Also, both of them have flash and clash, but the Saberforge can do this. And yeah, stuff like blaster deflection, it ain't on Ultrasabers. You can't buy it. It ain't happening. Right, so the sound in general, have to give it to Saberforge. Yeah, no disrespect to the V4 soundboard from Ultrasabers. A little bit outdated now. It's still good for your first Saber. You can't, like, grumble with it. If you compare that, especially the loudness and quality, over, like, a standard FX Saber from Disney or Hasbro or whatever, the Ultrasabers looks like God tier, mate. But when you bring it to another company, it's not as God tier anymore. Now it is time to talk about the last thing, the brightness or the LEDs, whatever you want to call it. Right, again, so starting with the Saberforge, this is running neopixel, which means the blade itself has LEDs. There is no LEDs inside here, which allows you to do this. Blade ignition and retraction is so satisfying. Like, that is, for me, the way forward. NeoPixel tech, yeah, you can't beat it, man. Like, it's the most expensive tech. It's the best looking. It's the brightest. I mean, to be totally fair, y'all want to see the brightness? Check it. Right, so starting with Ultrasabers. Nice green blade. And I put the Bane Mark II to green as well. Now, let me cover the speakers. I don't know how well it is on camera, but in person, the NeoPixel blade kills it, man. It really kills it. Like, I'm not sure if it's coming across as good on cam. It's so noticeable in person though, so yeah. If you can't see it, you have to take my word for it. NeoPixel blade brightness is the best on the market currently. Just to compare the red and green. Especially the red in person. Just in case you want to see the difference with the light on. Ultrasabers. Saberforge. Again, even with the light on, it's so much clearer that the Saberforge is brighter because it's NeoPixel. It's a no-brainer. So yeah, I'm going to have to watch the footage back. I can't really see on the camera. It kind of makes you look the same on camera, if I'm being totally honest. But in person, truthfully, and anyone who's got a NeoPixel Saber knows this anyway, in person, NeoPixel is so much brighter, it's unbelievably better. At the time of this recording, Ultrasabers, you cannot buy any NeoPixel tech. Saberforge does have it. I think you can buy, I'm pretty sure, every single hilt now with NeoPixel tech. It's kind of a easy victory, man. I mean, Ultrasabers, if you guys do not invest in NeoPixel tech, you can't claim to be the brightest. Trust me, you ain't. Yeah, another win for Saberforge. Yo, if this was a proper like verse match, Saberforge, for me anyway, have annihilated Ultrasabers. However, this doesn't mean I'm not going to be buying a future Ultrasabers lightsaber. I might probably be buying certain hilts and asking like other sabersmiths like Blue Force Sabers to do some customization on it, because the lack of customization, the lack of like a really good sound font, and the lack of a NeoPixel saber, they are three massive things. It outweighs the price. I'd rather pay more for something better. If you want something super basic, again, I highly recommend you go with Ultrasabers. You want to spend $100, you know it's going to get mashed up. You want to go cosplays, whatever conventions are back, or you want a jewel, or you want to give it to one of your kids, or it's your first saber. If it's one of those things, I still stand by what I'm saying right now. I think Ultrasabers is a good choice. Anything else, you want to show it off to your mates, you really love a certain hilt, you want the best, loudest, brightness saber of the two companies, Saberforge is an automatic, easy win. I didn't want this video to be a verse match, and I definitely didn't want it to be me telling you how to spend your money. You can do whatever you want with it, mate. I've spent so much money on Funko Pops, obviously lightsabers. I can't talk, but when I get questioned, who I personally think, for me, and what I want is a better company, Saberforge or Ultrasabers, a better company to have the things I want, it is 100% Saberforge. They win every single thing, man. Like, sure, you can buy some cheaper hilts on Ultrasabers. Once you start touching $300, $400, $500, I'd go to Saberforge of the two every single time. I'm not even going to think twice about it until they change the sound font, which, again, I think Lando Saber said it ain't been changed like 7 years, that's really bad. Y'all guys need to change it up, man. And the lack of customization and the lack completely of NeoPixel technology, they're massive things for me. It's also little things, customer service, at the time of this recording anyway, Saberforge for me is much better. Little things. Blade plug, I didn't pay extra for that. Allen key, Allen wrench, whatever. I did not pay extra for that. And the recharge port on the Saberforge, I didn't pay extra for that at all. It all comes standard with it. But with Ultrasabers, you've got to pay for the Allen key, you've got to pay for the blade plug, you've got to pay extra for the recharge port, sorry. And all my sabers have recharge ports, so I can't stand getting the saber at the bottom, like, especially if it's not built and it's not solid. I don't feel comfortable, like, banging the hilt and getting the chassis out. Ladies and gentlemen, that is my thoughts of Ultrasabers and Saberforge in a comparison video. I'm not the law, it's just my own nerd opinion. If you agree or disagree, again, please let me know in that comment section below. Genuinely, I really want to hear you guys and girls' opinions. I like talking to different saber enthusiasts and stuff. There's a lot of great channels out there with great information, and this is just my personal experience. And the last thing I'm going to say is there's a lot of videos on YouTube, Saberforge versus Ultrasabers, comparisons, there's a lot. But for me, after seeing the Bane, with the neopixel and the golden harvest, yo. I think it's called Gold Harvest. You could take my most expensive lightsaber from Ultrasabers, the Flamberge, even the Archon, which is my favourite. When I have both of them side by side, the Saberforge destroys it. Until Ultrasabers change their game, they're going to be behind in the game. They might be the leader of sales, but for customers, Star Wars enthusiasts, lightsaber collectors, they are definitely not number one. Again, I'm not knocking anyone. That is my personal opinion. Ladies and gentlemen, this video is probably going to be well long, mate. If you have watched the entire thing, massive love to you, my G. I really do appreciate it. And yeah, if you have any questions, find me on Instagram and DM me. I'll answer everything. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you all in the next one.